Coming up on OU Nightly, Donald Trump announces his plan for Americans, hateful speech rings out again on the OU campus, and we'll show you why Norman's water tastes so bad. This is OU Nightly. Donald Trump is back on the campaign trail, energized by what some called his pep rally at the Oklahoma State Fair.
And the GOP frontrunner used some of that energy to unveil his plans to cut taxes for the poor and the wealthy. Trump's plan calls for no income taxes for individuals annually making less than $25,000 or married couples making less than $50,000. The wealthiest Americans also will get a tax break. Individuals making over $150,000 and couples making over $300,000 would pay an income tax rate of 25%. That's a dramatic cut from the current rate of nearly 40%. And Trump claims that the proposal would not add to the country's debt or deficit. He says the plan will work because it kills deductions for the rich and creates incentives for U.S. companies to boost economic growth in the U.S. Trump spoke out against finances during his speech at the Oklahoma State Fair. OU Nightly's Vanessa Prado covered Trump's appearance. Vanessa, what'd you hear from him?
Well, Tyler, it was really more of a rally than anything else. He actually called it a rally himself. I spoke with a handful of more than the 12,000 people that were enthusiastic to be at the event, and all were pretty much in favor of Trump's business and finance strategies in the past.
I like the fact he's not a politician. He is a businessman and he has made money.
As a small business owner, it's hard. And it'd be nice if Trump, being a business owner, would be a little more helpful in that regard.
That's what America needs. It needs somebody with backbone, somebody that knows how to do business and do it correctly.
Now, part of Trump's proposal actually conflicts with statements he's made throughout his campaign that he and other wealthy people in America should be paying more taxes. And we know another way he conflicted himself specifically at the fair, his bashing of the media. We all know he loves the media coverage in his campaign, but that wasn't the story at the fair. Almost immediately after taking the stage, before he even got to his speech, Trump had some very strong words for the media covering the fair. At one point, he actually turned the crowd against us.
I mean, they really do distort, and they are terrible people. Not all of them, but many of them. Take the cameras off me and pan the crowd, okay? Be honest. Go ahead, pan it. You're not panning it. They don't want to pan it. All right, come on. Watch tonight, you won't see anybody. You'll see me speaking.
Now, Trump accused the media of distorting facts and even predicted that it would get the attendance numbers for the rally all wrong. And it's that abrasive personality that generates protests wherever Trump goes. At the State Fair, about 200 protesters gathered outside Trump's speech to voice their opposition to Trump. Dream Act of Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Democratic Party, and LULAC among the organizations whose members joined the protest. Protesters wore white shirts, held signs, and chanted, "Trump is not okay." Many protesters were Latinos who have felt the sting of Trump's harsh words.
He said we're criminals, we're rapists, and we're bringing drugs, and that's not who we are. My community is decent, we're hardworking, we're here to make a living, and we're here to make America great.
Organizers say the protest crowd was kept down by rumors that INS officers would be on hand looking for illegal immigrants.
And another controversial event happened this weekend. Rapper YG was censored during his concert Saturday as part of OU's Must Stay weekend. His contract with OU required him to perform edited versions of his songs and omit offensive language. Since he did not violate this clause, YG will receive the full $40,000 in compensation for his performance.
And hateful speech at another campus venue triggered a stern lecture this morning from OU President David Boren. Boren lashed out at Friday's Union Programming Board rap battle, where performers freely used homophobic slurs that angered OU's LGBT community. Boren's statement says, Those involved have apologized. He went on to say, "I urge our students to speak out against intolerance and disrespect for others."
And we go now to OU Nightly's Nola Allinger in the News Center. And Nola, President Obama and Vladimir Putin had quite a discussion at the United Nations today.
That's right, Tyler. President Barack Obama and Russian President Vladimir Putin went head-to-head today at the United Nations. The disagreement centered around the chaos in Syria and specifically the future of the Syrian government. Obama specifically called for the removal of Syrian leader Bashar al-Assad, calling him a tyrant who massacres innocent children. Putin, a longtime supporter of Syria, believes al-Assad should stay in power. This was their first face-to-face meeting in almost a year. And Joyce Mitchell, the woman who helped 2 convicted murderers escape a New York prison last June, is about to become an inmate. A New York judge sentenced the former prison worker to up to 7 years and pay more than $6,000 in fines. And NASA made a blockbuster announcement today stating that they have found water on Mars. Though the water itself is super salty and briny, says a NASA official, this still offers the possibility of life on Mars. That's what's happening around the world. Now back to you at the OU Nightly News Desk.
Thank you, Nola. And now we're going to go to Joe Puma with the weather.
Yeah, guys, a lot happening right now with all the events around the area. We're going to see, as we take a look, though, at your temperatures out there. As we take a look at the high temperatures, this is the wrong date there. Looking at 83, though, generally temperatures in the 80s across the center state, but I'll have much more on a cool down on the way later in the full forecast.
Thank you, Joe. And still ahead on OU Nightly, find out where a major company is ending its oil drilling.
Plus, Earth Report will show you what's wrong with drinking water from Lake Thunderbird. Straight ahead on OU Nightly.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. Energy Transfer Equity is buying pipeline operator Williams for approximately $32.6 billion. In the deal with Energy Transfer Equity, Williams will keep its company name and remain headquartered in Tulsa. The deal is expected to close in the first half of next year. And now we're going to go to Jennifer Sellers. She's here now with our Earth Report. And Jennifer, it looks like fracking is continuing to shake things up a bit.
Yeah, Tyler. A new report examines the way some states deal with earthquakes caused by fracking or injection wells. The report looks at public relations strategies used to inform the public about seismic events. Scientists also offer tips to 13 states, including Oklahoma, and say each state should address the issue according to state law and geography. The report is one of the most candid references to the link between fracking or injection wells and earthquakes since the events began in 2009. Environmentalists are celebrating today after an announcement from the giant Shell oil company. The company says it will end offshore drilling in Alaska for the foreseeable future. The decision comes after a key exploration well did not produce enough oil and gas. Falling energy prices are also to blame. And California lawmakers have passed new gas regulations to combat climate change. Between now and 2020, oil companies will have to sell fuel with 10% less carbon. Environmentalists say the change will lead to more electric cars and plant-based fuels like ethanol. Oil companies say the plan will be expensive and unworkable. By 2020, the change will likely cost California consumers an extra $55 a year. And it's that time of year again. The fall season has triggered the dreaded annual change in Norman tap water from drinkable to, well, unpleasant. The OU Nightly's Dylan Jasna shows us what's causing the problem and what city officials are going to do to fix it.
Water. It's something we use every day, from washing our clothes, taking showers, to hydrating. But some Norman residents say something is off with this everyday necessity. I did a non-scientific study to see if students could identify Norman water versus filtered water, and 9 out of 10 identified correctly.
I could definitely. We're having some technical difficulties, but the city says it will invest $30 million into that water treatment plan in the next few years to help with the odor and the taste of water. So even though we didn't see that package there, basically the water doesn't taste very good here in Norman a lot of times. So I got you a nice little glass of water here if you're thirsty.
You know, I think I'm pretty good there, Jennifer.
Right.
I'm going to stick with Ashley's jug of water right here next to me.
Good choice.
Keep you hydrated.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit better than that water.
Good decisions.
And Columbus Day could be on the verge of a name change and formal recognition. Last night, I attended the Graduate Student Senate meeting where OU Native students presented a resolution to change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. A member of Indigenize OU, Ashley McCrae, stated they want to gain support in the community and to have this holiday be officially recognized on campus. The resolution passed with a unanimous yes.
And still ahead on OU Nightly, the Sooners prep for conference play.
And Joe Puma is standing by with the weather.
Yeah, guys, again, as you take a look at our live shot right now, we're going to see beautiful blue skies, a few puffy cumulus clouds out there, but overall, I am tracking a cool down on the way for this coming weekend. Unfortunately, it does not look nice for game day on Sunday. I'll have much more in the full forecast coming up when we return. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Well, a lot of excitement around Norman yesterday with the lunar eclipse happening. This is the very rare event. The last time this happened was back in 1982, and the next time it's going to be here is going to be 2033. This happens when the moon is like basically in the Earth's shadow, so it becomes covered by the Earth and has this reddish tint to it. So that's what happened yesterday. There's some awesome shots that came in from all across the world, really. This is one out there. You can see, look at that beautiful moon there. Awesome shot. This is actually one of the shots I got here. I was out at down in Slaughterville yesterday, just on some country road, pulled off and got some amazing shots with my Nikon. And you can see, again, look at that beautiful blue moon. You can see there's the Earth starting to cast its shadow on the moon as it's just starting earlier last night. Now, as we take a look, though, at your weather story, we can see the big story here is, again, the high pressure over us now, giving us those clear skies, maybe a few, isolated clouds out there, but overall, looking at overall clear conditions for much of the central and southern plains out there. But we do have this cold front up here. That's going to start to move its way, especially as we head towards the later part of this work week and into the weekend time frame. That could bring us some showers, and this is going to be a very strong cool front that's going to move through here. It's going to drop our temperatures from the 80s and 90s where we are today and this week to perhaps the 60s in the forecast as we head towards the rest of the work week. Now, as we take a look, though, at your overnight lows for tonight, we are going to see them in the 60s, 64 in Norman and Oklahoma City, 64 in Enid. That seems to be the special number here across the Sooner States, 63 right there in Woodward. So again, overall a nice night tonight. Great fall-like weather, especially if you're up during the early morning hours when these temperatures are this low. Great time to go for an early morning run as you're heading out the door tomorrow morning. Now for the day tomorrow, we're looking at 7 a.m. at 62 degrees under scattered showers. No, that's supposed to say sunny. I'm sorry about that, folks. Noon, we are at 78 degrees and 85 with abundant sunshine. No scattered storms here, just abundant sunshine out there. Winds out of the north. Overall, looking nice out there. Now, for your tomorrow afternoon time frame, again, looking at temperatures in the 80s, so we're about a few degrees above our average for this time of year, around 80 degrees. But again, 85 degrees here in Oklahoma City, 86 in Norman, 85 in Ardmore. And again, the good news is, though, that humidity is starting to come down out there, so it's not going to feel as bad. But again, still want to be hydrating, especially as we go through the daytime hours. If you have any work outdoors, definitely want to be staying hydrated and safe in these temperatures. Now for your 7-day forecast out there, looking at 86 degrees by your Tuesday time frame, 82 on Wednesday, abundant sunshine, but then there's those rain chances starting to enter the forecast for Friday, dropping from 80 on Thursday to 72 for your Friday time frame, 67 for Saturday with a 40% chance of showers, so definitely going to be a wet weekend here in Norman for your Saturday into Sunday time frame. And as we take a look, though, at your rest of your work week, looking at temperatures staying in the 60s as we head towards the first part of next work week, although I do see some relief in sight. It's going to warm back up into the 70s as we get into the later part of next work week.
Well, Joe, I'm really looking forward to those cold temperatures, but I couldn't get enough of that eclipse.
Wasn't it awesome? It was really neat.
I was out on my porch all night last night. I got home from dinner, got home from being up here at a meeting, and I just couldn't take my eyes off the moon. It was captivating. Right?
It was. You know, I was trying to study for a test, and just watching that moon just took up all my studying time. And yeah, but I did pretty well, I think. So yeah.
All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joe.
And the Oklahoma Sooners are back in action this weekend. And Hunter, one player says he's excited for the game.
That's right, Ashley. Samaje Perine's looking forward to the West Virginia game on Saturday. And it's a baseball brawl with only one team. Well, welcome back. The Sooners take on the West Virginia Mountaineers this Saturday at Owen Field. And remember, a year ago, this game was the coming out party for running back Samaje Perine. Can he do it again? It's going to be a little more of a challenge for the sophomore this go-around with a young offensive line and going up against an experienced Mountaineers defensive front. But Perine will be up for the challenge. As a true freshman last year, he rushed for 244 yards and 4 touchdowns.
For a guy that's that big and powerful, he has such a unique ability to slide and and to skip out of into holes and out of holes and out of tackles and then to absorb the hits that he does as well and give out the hits that he does. He just as you've seen over and over with him, he's a pretty special running back.
And the soccer team had a split of sorts over the weekend. They tied with 15th-ranked Texas Tech on Friday night with a scoreless outcome and defeated the Iowa State Cyclones 3-0 yesterday. The Sooners are now 6-4-1 overall and take on Oral Roberts tomorrow in Tulsa.
And to go down to 10 men for that long of a period and still get out of it.
Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. And the volleyball team is in action as well. They won't only be on this court, but also in Studio D for Sooner Sports Pad. Haley Huey is here to tell us what to expect from the show tonight. Haley?
That's right, Hunter. The volleyball team is very busy. They'll be visiting Mason Prince, Ashley Davis, and me tonight for Sooner Sports Pad. We also have an interview with Neela Casatati and a feature on cross-country runner Brittany Tretbar. Be sure to join us live tonight on Fox College Sports Central and tomorrow afternoon on Fox Sports Oklahoma. But for now, let's throw it back to you, Hunter, for the rest of sports news.
Thanks, Haley. And Adrian Peterson is back. The former Sooner running back ran like the 80 we're used to seeing for the Vikings. Peterson yesterday rushed for 126 yards on 20 carries against the San Diego Chargers, scoring his first touchdown since 2013. Peterson missed the majority of last season with legal issues, but the eight-year veteran is looking like he's back on track. Vikings win 31-14. And let's talk Dallas Cowboys football as they started off strong with Joseph Randall getting the ball right here and running down the right sideline for a 37-yard touchdown. That was the Cowboys' first score of the game, but the Cowboys couldn't hold it in the second half as the Falcons came roaring back with Julio Jones right here, Matt Ryan to Jones, and he breaks one tackle and reaches into the corner of the end zone for the 47-yard score, and then right back to Jones right here in the fourth quarter for the 2-yard score as the Falcons win 39-28. And finally, we have beef in baseball, not in the hot dogs of the game. Those are still nasty. But the Washington Nationals are scrapping with each other. Yesterday, closer Jonathan Papelbon got into it with young slugger Bryce Harper. Even though they're out of the race, I guess it's good they're still fighting. So, I mean, you got to feel for the Nationals. I mean, you don't like to see fights happen, but you got to understand their frustration right now.
I mean, it's definitely interesting to watch it. But I do have to agree with you about those hot dogs. I'm not exactly interested in eating one of those. I'd rather watch the fight.
My question is, are they fighting for the right cause?
Probably not, but, they're still fighting.
I would assume not. Thank you so much, Hunter.
And still to come on OU Nightly, Halloween is on its way.
And we'll show you how one burger company is going to celebrate.
I'm Allie Stratton at the OU Nightly Update Desk. An Oklahoma appeals court denied Richard Glossop's request for a new hearing. He is now scheduled to be executed on Wednesday. And Jeb Bush will visit Oklahoma City tomorrow for a fundraising event that is closed to the public and the press. He joins Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, and Marco Rubio in the list of Republican candidates who have recently visited. Carly Fiorina will also visit tomorrow, speaking to oil and gas producers. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Allie. And thank you for watching Toss of the 7 Day. Joe?
Yeah,
7 Day?
you know, 7 days looking good. We're watching a rain chance coming in here for this weekend, but other than that, overall, not too bad. It's starting to feel like fall around here.
I'm excited about that. And thank you for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord Building.
And join us tomorrow at 4:30 live.
Have a great night.
Good night.